if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. As always, I'm excited to bring you another awesome guest. Dr. Nadia Brown is definitely an awesome guest. She is a sales strategist, consultant, trainer, and founder of the Doyenne Agency. Her sales agency works with business owners, companies, and corporations to multiply revenue and awaken the consistent closer within your sales team using the consistent sales method. It's trademarked, y'all. Nadia brings more than 15 years of experience in leadership, powerful conversation, achieving goals, and respect for people to develop a comprehensive sales process to increase closing rates and satisfied client retention. Welcome, Dr. Nadia.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here because I know, we do similar kinds of work, but you do it more for corporations and you're an agency as well. So talk a little bit about what you do, Dr. Nadia.
Yeah, so we help companies and small businesses with looking at their sales systems, their sales processes, training their sales teams. We've done sales for them. So when companies are at that place where they're like, okay, it's time for us to go to that next level, they've worked with our organization. We've helped with back of room for all those events. Mm-hmm. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we just moved it virtual and kept right on selling. So
yeah, I love it.
Really being able to, support people and growing their businesses and really creating that consistency in the sales. Because as you know, that can be a challenge as a small business owner, but I realize that it's a challenge for any business owner. It's not just, we're not the special unicorns as small business owners.
Yeah.
When it
but
comes
most people don't know how to do it well. And I think that's where, people like you and I come in to show them, teach them, coach them. So yeah,
absolutely.
I get it. So you work primarily with small businesses and corporations. I noticed the name of your company, and I don't think I've noticed it like this before. You're an agency. So tell me what you do in the done for you model where you're an agency. I know you said back of the room sales, but what else?
We've basically served as the sales team for our clients. And so we help them get that process set up. And then however people raise their hands, if you will, when they enter the pipeline, they talk to us. And then once we have that client enrolled, so we've taken the credit card, they've signed the agreement, then our clients are like, oh, we have new clients. So they are we take them completely out of that process and support them in that way. And then the other way our agency supports is just, again, around the training. And okay, we don't necessarily want to outsource, but we really need to refine our process for how we're going to either grow or build our sales team. And so our agency also helps with all of that, the training, the onboarding, the KPIs, how are you going to make sure you keep them on board and all that kind of good stuff. So we
the important stuff.
Right.
Yeah. See, most people don't understand. You can market all day long, but if you're not, you say closing, but I say converting. If you're not converting clients in your business, you really don't have a business. You're really just putting your stuff in the marketplace and hoping something sticks. And that's not business.
No,
that's not sales, and it doesn't come close to sales. I heard this expression years ago, and I just follow it. Marketing gets you known and sales gets you paid. So if you're not getting paid via sales, then you're missing the mark.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I really want you also to touch on is how you brought your doctorate degree and your leadership and all that experience to the forefront to serve your clients today. That's big. I think it's big. Whenever someone goes for a doctorate degree, I'm like, girl, tell me how that happened. Tell me how that
happened because I made a promise to my grandmother. So I always say, had I known then, would I know? But she got me. She got me, girl. So I was 17, getting ready to graduate high school and go off to college. And education was always a big thing on my grandparents. But my grandparents were born in the early 1920s, and education, obviously, for Black folks wasn't a big thing. So. So for them, the next generations, they were on it. And I was that one that really, they would not release me. So when
what you say, they would not release you?
Huh? There was, people grow up and they're like, I had to do this. I always knew from a little kid that I was always going to go to college. And so Granny and I were having that conversation. What college are you going to? And every day it was a different one. And she said, I want you to promise me that you would go and get all the colors. And I knew exactly what she meant. And I said,
all the way up.
All the way. Right. All the way. Yes. And I was like, okay, Granny, I promise. And I held my promise. So I'm happy.
Very cool. And what's your doctorate in?
It's in management and leadership.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. It's not one of those, I'm sorry to say this. I don't mean to offend anybody when I say this, but it's not one of those humane letters or liberal arts,
Nope, they made me work for that one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's a real one. If you had to do management and leadership, that's a real one for sure.
It was tough.
Yeah. So Granny's happy. Granny's happy.
Yes.
You fulfilled your promise.
I did.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Nadia. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll step into our signature segment, Profitable Wisdom. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lee Chambers, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Lynn Scheurell, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversations Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Roshanda Pratt, known online as The Rose Show Live, and you're tuned in to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure to like, comment, review, subscribe, so you'll know when the next conversation goes live.
So welcome back. We're talking with sales strategist and owner and founder of the Doyenne Agency, Dr. Nadia Brown. And I want to step into our Profitable Wisdom segment. These are 5 questions that I ask almost every guest. And I love asking these questions, Dr. Nadia, because it gives such insight into possibilities for people. Because sometimes people don't think about what they're learning or who they're learning from or how they're actually showing up in their businesses. But these answers really give them some insight and some way to think about that. Okay, so let's jump in. Okay. So who's had the greatest influence? Who has had the greatest influence on you in your life?
I would say my granny. I know we talked about her a little bit at the end of the last segment, but not just in encouraging me to go after my education, but just how she lived her life. She was a mother of 10 and grandmother to many. And so just the strength that she exuded. And, I could pull on that strength, even though she's gone on. But, that example that she left. And I often now say, I can, say it proudly. I am my ancestors' wildest dream because I get to live out and do some of the things that she didn't get to do, even in life choices of being an entrepreneur and now stepping into a new role as a mom. I get to introduce my little one to different opportunities that, that weren't even available to me. And so that legacy that she set lives on through me. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, that is very exciting. You mentioned that your grandparents were born in like the 20s. So if you can imagine what a tough time they must have had getting any kind of education.
In Georgia, no less.
In Georgia. Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. Heart of the South, heart of the civil rights movement and everything that was fought for in those times. Wow, that's big. That's really, really big. What's the best business advice you've ever received, Dr. Nadia?
Fail faster. And I was angry.
Why I gotta do that?
Right. And you know,
yeah.
being college educated has its pros and cons, and being an entrepreneur. And I feel like the first several years was unlearning some of that stuff we learned, you know, being a student. I was a really good student. I am a really good student, but it doesn't always serve you well when you're building a business. And so I had a mentor that was like, you need to learn how to fail faster. And I was like, I don't ever want to fail, right? Like, that's not what I set out to do. But the lesson is to stop being so timid in trying to get everything perfect and just take those risks. And I've learned to develop a more explorative side to, you know, being open to exploration and experimentation instead of being so it has to be perfect before we post or do anything. So
I call it creativity. I call it creativity. Because you know, the thing that I've learned, and I know this is what you're talking about, is you can create whatever business you want as long as you're creative. You know what I mean? You don't need to have so many ducks in a row. You don't need to have your T's crossed or your I's dotted. Like you said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. After being sick and being out of my business for a while and then coming back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna design a business that I want.
Yes.
That's why I get to take naps during the day. You know what I mean? That's why I get to spend time with my 90-year-old mom. You know, it's because I was just very intentional. So that creativity definitely, that's what I call it, plays a role in that. It really forces you to shed the perfectionism.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, you know, being a mom and just kind of being tossed into that role, you know, through those circumstances, it was one of those things. Because now you have a little one, very demanding. And
How old?
She's now 5, but she is big on eyeball to eyeball time. Like, close your laptop, look at me. And it was like, okay, I'm gonna need to do some things differently with my life, and we're going to coexist together well.
Yeah, I love it. Little people have a way of changing you anyway. My family says that when I had my son, he's 31 now, so he's rusty and crusty and all of that. But when he was little, they used to say, oh, that really softened you because you used to be hard and used to be. I was like, I didn't think I was that hard. Yes, you were. I was like, okay. But you know, what's interesting now, I feel like I'm harder than I was when I was younger, but it's a different kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's a very focused and very intentional kind of way of being about what I do. Not perfection, but definitely, you know, focus. But yeah, once they throw up on you a couple of times, I know you didn't have this experience, but once they throw up on you a couple of times, then you have to let go of perfectionism.
Got it.
You have to. Or they come to you as a toddler with dirty hands and they put it all over your dress or your outfit. Then it's like, okay,
let it go.
Really?
Yep, that's the face. Really? Okay.
Yeah, really? Okay.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the largest single sale you've had in your business? What was the amount and the circumstances, and what did you do to celebrate? I like asking this question because sometimes people don't see possibility where there is possibility. So this may give some people ideas.
Ooh, largest single sale, around 60,000. And that was like a full consulting. It was pretty intense, another done for you type of solution. This is the part that I'm like struggling with is I suck at the celebrating, Wendy. Why? Like I am like,
oh no.
And then I move on to the next thing.
Oh girl, you gotta pause. You gotta pause and celebrate. Because I'm telling you. Yeah, and it's never too late. Let me say that it's never too late to celebrate. So now that you've said that, that means you got to go find a way to celebrate.
Okay, I will do that and report back. I will celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm telling you, you kind of get lost in the act of doing if you don't pause to celebrate. You know, you just move on to the next thing, and it becomes, you know, you move on to the next thing, and then you move on to the next thing, and before you know it, you've got like money hand over fist, but you're kind of like feeling like you didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
And when you celebrate, you recognize the effort that went into it.
I agree. You're right. I need to do a better job. And I think because we do sales and we'll have these events and we'll do different things. And I find myself saying, and I know people are like, I can't believe you just let that come out your mouth. Like, well, we only sold 250,000 in like a 3-day event.
Is that what you say, girl? You need to celebrate. You need to celebrate. Because what happens is the milestones get bigger because you're already aware of it, right? But when you celebrate, you see the next possibility. You see the next milestone that you can achieve when you celebrate.
You are
Some
so
of the,
right.
the micro wins, even the micro wins. I'm real big on food. Don't ask me why I'm big on food, but I am. So I love, taking myself out to dinner. I'm a big seafood boil person too.
Yes.
So I love doing that kind of stuff and traveling, but whatever it is, big or small, with COVID, I know people are not traveling like they once did. I'm one of those people, but you can still travel, you can still do something fun, take yourself out somewhere. So I want to hear about the celebration.
I will share that with you because I can
hear about it.
That's an area of improvement.
Yeah. Starting now.
You got it.
Yeah, good. So what has helped you? We all think of giving up, like sometimes every day, every week, every month. But what has helped you move through those times to stay the course in your business?
Oh, girl. I think, and we were talking about this a little bit during the break. One is having gone through getting a doctorate, because that's a process unlike any other. And one of the hard, and people ask about it all the time, I'm like, you can do the coursework. That's the easy part. Finishing that dissertation and defending it and publishing, that's the lonely part. And I liken that to entrepreneurship, because there are parts of entrepreneurship where it's lonely and it's hard and you don't always know all the answers and you feel like I'm doing the right things, and you come back with your paper marked up and you got to start all over again, and so having lived through that experience and successfully completing it is that reminder, like, Nadia, you can do hard things. And this is what happens when you don't quit. And so that is one of the things, that sources of strength that I draw on from my experiences in life, to just be like, you got this. So cry if you must, but pick yourself up and keep moving.
Right. The thing that I love about being a Black woman in the world today is we always have hard things. We open our eyes and there's hard stuff facing us. I was a mom. Again, my son is 31. He's, like I said, rusty and crusty now. But and I tell him all the time, I'm too young and too cute to have a 31-year-old son. I don't know where you came from. But
somebody dropped you off at my house.
Somebody dropped you off and I just said, okay, I'll take him. But that's hard stuff. And other people, I'm bringing it up because I want the listeners and the viewers to understand that we as Black women hard every day. And the hard is what gives us the temperance, the patience, the wherewithal to keep going, to never quit, to do bigger things, to excel. I just read every day, it feels like, and I'm really glad to say that, of a Black woman succeeding in business, because it's hard.
It is.
Right? Just don't give up, right? Just don't give up. Yeah. Everything prepares us for our success. Every hard thing prepares us for our biggest successes.
Yep. You're right. And I think because we do it, we make it look easy sometimes. And and even like when you were talking about the celebration, like sometimes on the outside, those that know us are like, oh, child. But I think that we don't even realize sometimes just how different the odds were stacked, and because we don't always see that part of it. So I appreciate you bringing that out.
Yeah. And what's your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
Ooh, I would say that was a hard one to choose from too. But I would say being a mom. Like, that wasn't something I set out to do. I know people are like, well, how did you end up there? We don't even got time for that, but just know it's happening. And but stepping into that role and being excited about the possibilities of what I get to create in this tiny human. So excited and just so excited for what we've been able to accomplish in the short time that we've had her over the past couple of years, but then really excited for what we get to create over the years to come. Yeah,
you really do get to pour into those little vessels, My son and I are very close, and we were talking last night, and he showed me this thread where he and a young lady he just started talking to were talking about sort of how he shows up and what he thinks. And she said something to him like, oh, your mom must be an amazing woman. And he was like, yeah, you know, she is. She taught me some things. And then something he said made me go, did you really say that? I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something like, there were times when she didn't prepare me for leadership, is kind of what he said. And I was like, what you mean I didn't prepare you for leadership? I prepared you for, you know, I've kind of got this little attitude about it, you know. And when we talked about it, what he said was, for so long, I looked to you as the leader because you did it and you did it so well. Right. And then there came a time when I knew that I couldn't look to you as the leader, that I had to be the leader in my own life. And once I started doing it, I realized that you had prepared me for it. You know, it wasn't like you just left me at 18 or whatever, or you left me, because we had our time, you know, rebellious teenager kind of stuff. But when you recognize the time to let go, because you've done everything that you can to help them, to grow them, to groom them, to, you know, mold them. It's a really good feeling, Dr. Nadia. It really, really is. You know, because I look at him and I listen to him sometimes and I'm like, oh, that's my child. That's my child. Yes, thank you. Because, you know, you don't always know that it's going to turn out that way. You know what I mean? You just you pray, you keep pouring, you keep asking, you keep talking and hoping that it lands and not on deaf ears. And one day you're like, oh, it landed, he got it. So keep doing what you're doing, because I'm sure it just gets better. I'm telling you. And when she, right, you have a little girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah, when she gets older, and I don't know about little girls, because they say little girls and moms have a whole different kind of dynamic going on.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Wait till she gets older.
Oh, Lord.
She's older. Yeah. Just prepare yourself.
I'm working on it.
Just prepare yourself, because it's going to be interesting for sure.
We already have some interesting dynamics. And I'm like, and then like when you said, when they say stuff, even at her age, I'm like, oh, child, I know I didn't give birth to you, but you sound just like me. Like, you have those moments like, you better make sure I'm pouring the right stuff in.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be listening to everything I say.
Right.
You know, you can't be a sponge all the time.
No, all the time.
Yeah. I love it. So we're going to take another break, Dr. Nadia. And when we come back, I'd love for you to share your parting thought. It's that nugget that you really want people to walk away from our conversation with. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hey there, I'm Tai Goodwin, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terri Levine, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Sherita Sparrow, your world-class therapeutic art practitioner, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you can be notified when the next episode goes live.
Okay, so welcome back. We've been having a delightful conversation with Dr. Nadia Brown. We talked about everything from parenting to, you know, education and being a strong Black woman and all that good stuff. So Dr. Nadia, if there's one thought that you really want to impress upon people about our conversation, what would that be?
To focus on sales. Like, I get that sales can be scary. Salespeople have bad rep, all that stuff. But going back to something we shared in the first segment, no sales equals no business. And however you can get the support to get that revenue, because it only empowers you to do the other things that you want to do, to be philanthropic, to do all those other things that really light your fire. You need money to do it. And so get the sales, get the revenue, and then go rock it out.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Dr. Nadia, for being here.
Thank you
Always
for
a pleasure chatting with you. I'm glad you came on the show for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. So we'll see you next time for another episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. Remember to join the after party at profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.